You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. I'm Chillmonger, that's Dre, Buckmeister Cool, Kaiser Levin, Spoiler Kings Brian, and it's time. It's T'Challa time. I don't got my comic book. We got some digital representation. We got some physical representation. Kaiser Levin is waving both his variant copies. You just can't see it. Tell me, Slevin, how have you been enjoying the comics so far?
I've been liking the fact that T'Challa is now in a new setting and he's not in the capital anymore, and he has to reinvent himself in a way, kind of like how they did with the Man Without Fear when he was in New York. So I've been enjoying it so far. I like the character design. I like how he's interacting with other civilians from different parts of Wakanda. It's been pretty good so far, and the new villain is pretty good. So I've been enjoying myself.
Which new villain?
Kivuma.
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 Okay. And
I,
Buckmeister?
I like how they gave the background for him in issue 6, which was really cool to see.
See, I'm the opposite way with that
I
one.
know you did not.
You did not like it.
I mean, I'm with Chill on that. I was like, I don't know if I needed Kivuma's entire backstory for like one issue. I kind of wanted more T'Challa stuff because, like, for me, it's the thing of T'Challa's he's in a very sensitive space right now. Like, it's so weird around T'Challa that it's just like anything where we take eyes off of him, it doesn't sit well with me. I'm just like, nah, come on, can we? I want to see other Black Panther, sure, but let's get T'Challa established first, especially now that he went from being an intergalactic emperor to Batman.
To Batman. That's exactly what he is. Yeah. He is now Batman. He has no idea anything else is going on. He's working during the day. He's going out at night, just trying to stop crime. He has no connection with the city. He is Batman. I'm like,
I love Batman.
He's a dude.
But I'm just like,
Batman's
I don't
a dude.
need my T'Challa to be Batman. I don't need my T'Challa to be Batman. I love Batman.
But see, I think this is what makes issue 6 going forward better, because then to be a great king, you have to know the people. If you do not know the people, how can you rule them? So getting
talked about that now. Yeah,
so getting exactly. And I think the Kivuma stuff that happened in issue 6 is a perfect setup for issue 12 or whenever Kivuma shows up in someone else's body, which we're going to talk about in this comic, is going to be worth it, because then there is it's like a symbiotic type of relationship. They're going to hate, Black Panther, no matter who it is, and they're going to go out for revenge. So that's going to be the perfect setup, and you needed that comic to tell that perfect setup.
No, I mean, I get it story-wise. I'm not like fighting the story. I just think that it's just the thing of where we are with T'Challa. It's like you can tell the greatest story, but if you start taking T'Challa out of it a little bit, for me, it's just like
Well, you need
almost playing into their hand,
right?
Because they're trying.
Because now somebody's going to be like, in the source material, this was him telling now, and then this happened.
It's all about T'Challa.
Like,
you need to understand.
They even misreported it because they were like new Black Panther in the Black Panther series, and there was headlines and titles, and everybody was like, oh, there's another Black Panther. Oh yeah, there's another guy. Let's just but story wise, as a writer, I understand what Dr. Ewing was doing with that particular issue. I get it. I enjoyed the shout out to Kwaito. It was nice to see a shout out to Kwaito. That was pretty cool. It's local South African music, so thank you for that, Dr. Ewing. That was a nice touch.
That went way over my head. When was this?
Oh no, it's in one of the issues where he's after he goes to Shangamaya's son, and Shangamaya's son is like, you have to go explore the city or whatever. He goes to a nightclub, and in the nightclub, somebody's like, oh, I came here for the Kwaito music. So I was like, oh hey, did not know that she was looking into that, which is South African music. It's fire. You should probably take a listen to it if you want. The one thing I did not like is that I did not like how T'Challa is disconnected from the city. I didn't, especially it being Burning T'Chaka, because of how much T'Challa loved his father. I feel like he would, and also it's just like, when are we going to talk about Palisade? When are we, like, Dr. Ewing? I'm not like, this is a solid run, but can we please talk about Palisade? Because I feel like she's low key the villain of this entire run, because Burning T'Chaka went to shit on her watch. Like, Burning T'Chaka went to hell on her watch. And in the Wolverine comic, she's just letting Orcus into the city. into the city? Why? Like, why?
Yeah,
Are you
Folder
even
shot is a
meeting-
little bit sketchy, and I've always looked
Like,
at it
why?
that way. Well,
Why are
it's
you even
because,
meeting with these people?
and I'm always not going to like her because of what she represents. She represents T'Challa not being the king anymore in this whole monarchy.
The
She's
Malarkey.
a product of Voldemort.
Parliament,
She's
whatever.
a product of Voldemort.
Talking about
Yeah.
the great writer Ron Gidley.
Right. And remember, I feel like that you have to get a palace cleanse after what has happened with T'Challa from the previous writers. So the way that I'm looking at the way the story is going, I think those two things is going to intersect at one point, but you have to reestablish who he is. And I think there's a lot of great conversations that happen with Nairobi and T'Challa in this to be like, hey, who are you? And with just think about it like this: a politician does not have his ear to the ground with the people he represents. You could be a governor, you could be a senator, you could be a state representative. You have no idea until it's time to go politic. And now you have T'Challa like, you know what? Screw it. Let me find out more about the city. That's something that Eve Ewing talked about at the very beginning, that we're going to be connected to Wakanda. Now we're seeing it through the point of view of T'Challa. Again, to be a great ruler, you need to be able to know the people. If you don't know their issues and the things that are going on, you go back. It's going to be status quo. If you go right back to the kingdom and just take it over, we're happy he's king, but he doesn't know the people. He needs right back to what happened in I want to say that was Christopher Priest run, where where he just did not, he was so much of a king, he did not know his people. You know what I mean? Or when or when his people turned on him during the Huntland run. You know what I mean? When he he had to get rid of the vibranium or innately vibranium for a reason.
No, that wasn't.
Because
That
they
wasn't
hate
Huntland.
him.
That wasn't.
That was during
Huntland.
Huntland's run, because that was after Doom Wars.
Look at you nerds arguing about which one. I get the point. I know what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait.
the nationalists. Yeah,
But that's all I'm saying is that you get him back to where he could be a real kid. Like, you can end all this parliament, whatever this crap is, because he's more equipped to run the country than the parliament right now, because he knows the people.
That's what I'm hoping they do. I hope they go through all this and they allow them to see how all the problems that the parliament's having, that they don't know the country, they don't know what's going on. And he could come and step back in as the monarch, and I'm gonna put you back in the right position because I know who you guys are. I've lived amongst you, and I'm hoping they do it within the next 3 issues, because I really don't want to wait too much longer.
Yeah. I mean, for
Reed
me though,
Williams,
like
message. T'Challa gonna
Lord.
end up making his own kingdom in Haiti somewhere and having the kid out there.
Lord, please,
I would love that.
Chief, please, let's not wish things, eh? Let's not do this.
Issue number 1 begins with the first page. It is a continuation. We got like 3 different angles of this moment where Kivuma is taking over Baba Nkisu. I would have never thought Baba Nkisu was gonna actually die from here. That was it. He there was no resurrecting him. His death. How did this surprise you all?
It didn't surprise me.
I didn't care for Baba Nkisu in the first place. So
well, Kivuma even said that his body was he didn't think his body would be able to survive anyway. He was older. You know what I mean? He needed a younger host. Yeah, it was quick. It was quick.
I was like, 1 page? This is all we got?
I mean, his kid is 30. Look at this woman. This woman is not in her 20s. She's got to be at least 30. I didn't think his body was going to survive that.
Okay.
I mean,
crime does not pay because look at her face.
30, in general, if his kid is at least 30, then he should be in his 50s, and that's not as old as people think it is. I mean, it's still pretty young, pretty active.
I feel old.
I just like how when she shoots at him, bang, the cat-like reflexes. I even like how, you can tell he's twisting his head by those swoosh marks on the left, right above the word bang. So you know that bullet, I don't care if you're sneaking up on him, if his attention is focused on somebody else, you will not hit him with a bullet. And that's what I'm talking about.
Even if he did get hit, it'd probably just bounce off of him because he's supposed to have vibranium. But
yeah,
that's what happened later on anyway.
Yeah, he was just flexing.
That's what happened anyway. Because when they were pursuing him, he was like, "Yo, just get out of here!" And they kept on shooting at him. He's like, "All right, I'll have to teach you why I said what I said."
Is that what's happening at the top right? He is being hit, not he's evading it.
No. It happened later because they hit him with like some machine gun blast, and then he turned around. He said it's unnecessary, and then that's when he beat him up.
He tried to warn them.
Shout out to the art, man. This art is really good.
Very good, yeah.
Allin came back for the art on this one.
Yeah,
Allin adds more detail.
I like the anatomy, like how he like made the proportions for T'Challa very well. Like his head's not too big, his body is lean and muscular. You know what I'm saying? So it fit.
Except when he's easy, because when he's because he's like 8'4". If you look at the panel, he looks like Andre the Giant compared to everybody else.
I'm sure T'Challa did that on purpose because he was like, I don't want nobody guessing my height. I'm sure that's the strategist T'Challa. He's like, I want people to notice Eze because I want people to implant Eze in their minds and not, put 2 and 2 together.
See him as me.
Very matches Malone Batman, but
But the good thing about that in general, the good thing about that in general is that it's not his disguise is not a natural human being. Like he has augmentations. Like what his legs are mechanical, so it makes him taller, and then his hair kind of makes him taller. So it's not just like it's just a tall human being. It's just the fact that he has things that makes him look taller.
Yeah. Just to talk about African politics just for a second. So we had a president, Jacob Zuma. I don't know how famous he is according to
Jacob Zuma. Never heard of him.
Yeah. Basically, he was the wild, wild west of a president. Everything kind of went wrong under him. And now we have a new president in Ramaphosa. And because everything is quiet, everybody's like, this guy's the greatest president of all time. So taking it to Black Panther, Voldemort was horrible. Like 15 issues of straight. I knew we were in trouble when I saw T'Challa say, what's this? What did he say? Oh yeah, I live for this. I was like, when I read that in a thought box, I was like, T'Challa does not speak like that. Who is writing this? And lo and behold, my T'Challa senses were completely correct. So we get to Dr. Eve Ewing, and she's doing the writer thing, but she's not doing the comic book writer thing, if you understand what I'm saying. Like she's writing it where she's setting things up point to point to point to point to point.
I feel like she's trying to respect.
Yeah,
she's trying to respect way too much. It needs to just you need to just say, okay, this doesn't make any sense, and you need to get somewhere. I think we're waiting too many issues for it to get somewhere as far as the T'Challa thing.
But I'm saying, like, again, I recognize that that's me being a fan. I'm sure whatever story she's got on the board makes sense, but it's just me as a T'Challa fan. I'm like, can we just,
get somewhere?
Brian, let me ask you a question. Does this remind you of how Claremont used to write? Like Claremont tells a story, and that story will last 30 issues before you get to it. It's a slow burn. And I know Chill has read the other Dr. Eve Ewing book from Ironheart, I believe. Champions. To me, it just seems like she's so used to, because she's a writer, she's probably used to that slow burn. Like if you read Claremont's books, you're like, oh my God, we're on issue like 75.
And we're still not getting to the point. Let's go.
Because he is a writer. What's the name? Frank Miller. Even though Frank Miller is more graphic novel and stuff like, it takes a while to get to the climax because you're writers first. So they're not really
detail oriented and too much detail and not story oriented. So we need to get to from point A to point B. You're taking all these steps instead of getting us to a straight line of we could see what's coming up in the future with some of the stuff.
Like that's the difference between like a Jonathan Hickman and a Chris Claremont. Both great writers, but the way that they tell their stories is totally different. Like you'll get a lot of action, boom, 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 a lot of stuff set up with Hickman, and then you'll have a lot of stuff you will be later on, but like, why did he retcon that? But it's still kind of there. So we like, you know what I mean? And then like these other writers, they're writers first. And I can't really get mad at that because I kind of like the writing. I like a setup for storytelling, but I do agree it can't be forever. I can't be 30 issues down. A Kivuma is still a mist out here in the air. You know what I mean? So
we are on off one of the worst runs ever. Your job is to get us back to where we in a safe place. You need to get T'Challa to a safe place, and you can't take all these issues doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing in 8 that we were doing in 5. Like, why are we still not anywhere? You know, that's my only complaint. Like it's well done. I enjoy reading the stuff. I really do. But overall, for this character, he needs to get to a safe place, and we need to get there. We need to start moving.
Yeah, we
towards that.
need the boom. We need the punch. We need the noise. But that's just
Maybe
a
that's the
T'Challa
point,
fan
though.
thing. As a writer, I get what she's doing.
Well, maybe that's the point. Maybe a lot of people, when they read comics, they're too used to things going very quickly. So maybe they want you to slow down and take in the details about who T'Challa is and where he's going with this run. But, you know, I can't speak for everybody and how they like their taste, but I like it. I'm very cool with long running things like
Me too.
Blade Runner 2049. I was with that. Not a people liked it because it was too long or whatever, but I like things that give a lot of detail and then take a lot of time to tell you. But you know, not everybody's gonna like that. A lot of
I'm
people
normally
like
100% with you, but I feel like what we've gotten, like because of who the last series, I feel like so much disrespect has been made to T'Challa. Like you have to give him back to a respect place.
It's the
like
current stuff that makes me worry because look at them all wearing white at the funeral.
Oh no!
I can only think about.
And I said that in my review too. It just reminded me of Wakanda Forever. But is that it? Literally, is that an African thing for different countries in Africa celebrate death while wearing all white? Is that something?
I wouldn't know because they were referencing Yoruba culture. Like the thing is with Black Panther, it's kind of like a hodgepodge. Like there's a lot of like
mixing of different cultures.
They mixed a lot of things together because originally the Black Panther clan is supposed to be Xhosa culture. So Xhosa culture, they don't wear white with the funeral stuff, from what I know and what my mom has told me. But like I know in Nigeria, it's supposed to be something a little bit different. So I like it, and like that's kind of why when they did pick Xhosa for the language of the Black Panther, I was kind of like because I was like maybe they should have gone with Swahili because Swahili is more spoken across like multiple
well known and everything.
Yeah, it's more well known.
But
Yeah,
like when they pick a specific culture and now they're mixing it with other cultures, like a lot of Africans get like they're just like we're not a hodgepodge. It's not just one meshing thing that everybody does the same thing. Everybody does like different things.
But hold on, that's the benefit of Wakanda. They'll take inspiration, they'll take scarification from that place. They'll take the lip thing. You know the lip thing. You know what I mean, right? When I say that. I just searched Ethiopian funeral. You see a lot of white garments being worn there. Let me reshare it. That there was Besa is based off of something Ethiopian with the horns. The point of Wakanda is let's just celebrate. What everything is part. So I don't think it's a criticism actually.
No, what I'm saying, Chillmonger, is that when they grounded T'Challa and his clan specifically, because they branded that clan specifically, I was like they should have picked something more akin to like Swahili, so they could have made it somewhere where it blends into other cultures. Because he was speaking Xhosa and because they had a lot of Xhosa culture accoutrements on. Now it's just like, are we using this culture specifically? And did we research that culture? Because if we look at Mbaku, that's straight Yoruba. That's straight Nigerian.
Right.
The border tribe, for example, that's Lesotho. That's Basutu codes and all of that stuff. Like all of that stuff that they're wearing, all of those weaponry that they're using, it's very much akin to Basutu culture. It was the border tribe. It was the river tribe.
River
and
tribe.
it was
Mining tribe.
The mining tribe, yeah. The mining tribe look like they were influenced by the Maasai. So it looks like it's a bunch of Kenyan culture going in with the mining tribe. So it looked like they were picking specific things instead of presenting it as a hodgepodge. And I get that because they were juxtaposing colors together, that's what they were doing. But like, if you were going to do something like that, it would have been better to kind of use Swahili and have them speak Swahili throughout the movie.
That's
so
more
it looked like it's more
culture.
Instead of being specific, like that's how instead of being specific, which is what they were kind of doing with the Black Panther 1 movie.
So
they said, hey, don't be American. We ain't Americans. Stop doing it.
Question about them choosing to use Xhosa, right? So you think they chose it because, like you said before, South Africa is probably like the most prominent area on the continent that is more familiar, and that's where they can get the most, advertisement and revenue because South Africa is known more to the world. So they decided to make Black Panther and his tribe speak that language. It'll be more, I guess, mainstream.
Yeah, I definitely think that was the thinking behind it. Again, as a South African, I find it cool, but it's just it leads into, like, personally for me, I'm like, it's Hollywood, and the fact that they're even attempting and trying,
Yeah,
great. Like, that's
right.
good.
Yeah,
That's not a bad
try.
thing.
It's a try.
But with other African people who have also felt very marginalized and very maligned by Hollywood, because every time they've shown Africa, it's either been flies or it's been a googler boogler.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
It's been Crash Bandicoot for like the last 30 years or something like that.
30 only?
I was thinking about Boys in the Hood when the guy said African booty scratcher.
Yeah. We used to say, when I was a kid, we did used to say that.
Yeah,
and we didn't know the detriment of that.
It's a movement in the right direction. Like getting T'Challa on screen and all of that stuff. It's a movement in the right direction.
I've got no complaints over using the language.
But I agree with you though, because where they are geographically, it makes more sense for them to use Swahili because they're like more East African kind of like territory, right?
No, I mean, like Swahili is like spoken, I think, across the continent. Like it goes up, down, and northwest. It's like it was supposedly like the unified language of the continent.
Guys, I think this is a nitpick, bro. I think like the language that they chose to use was from.
No. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because when we talk about the funeral and we talk about the wearing of the white and everything, that's when it becomes a thing of, okay, which culture are we referencing here? Maybe this clan specifically is inspired by that Ethiopian clan. I don't know, but I know when they were using Ramonda and Shuri, I know that they're supposed to be based in Xhosa culture based on what they did in the Black Panther 1 movie. I'm just giving you context. It's not something where I'm like, this is horrible or whatever.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, well, it doesn't matter because they Game of Thrones this dude anyway. So he goes up in flames. So, Matt, funeral over. Let's go. Let's go eat. Let's go have let's go have some wings.
Brian, do you have any opinion on this triangle golden thing that Christopher Allin and all his free time writing details? Do you know what that means? Is that like the clan? What is it?
I don't know what it is, but you know, it gave me Illuminati type of vibe, so I didn't know exactly what was going on. So that's exactly when I first looked at it. I was like, it's got the all-seeing eye.
I think they're referencing more Egyptian culture because you see the
that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And the triangle is pretty much the all-seeing eye, which is also not Osiris.
Oh, Horus.
Isn't
it Horus?
Yeah.
Or if you could look at it, it looks like a cat eye, so they could be referencing Boss too.
Yeah, because she's part of the Egyptian pantheon.
Yeah.
So Baba Nkisu is more like a foreigner, or
I don't know. He seemed very Wakandan. It seems like he's from there.
He's very Wakandan,
and he might even be Panther clan based on what they're showing here. So
I thought that was really interesting because you know they really are opening the idea of what Wakanda is and that it's a country. It's because a lot of the movies, what they do a lot of it's a place, a city. It's almost like the capital of no, it's a whole country. There are different places that are going to have different type of things, and they're not going to be the same. What's going on here is totally different than what's going on there. And even what T'Challa says, you know, like I've been in the capital city so long that you know I forgot that there's more places, and I need to really be on the all of my people. You know, I'm a king of an entire country. I need to know everyone, and that's important because a country's huge. You know, nothing's going to be the same.
Exactly, and that's what I got out of this issue is that he was really he had to take himself back and actually think about what would it be to protect the city, not just because remember the Black Panther is a protector and king of Wakanda. How you gonna protect the people you don't know or you don't understand? Right. You just come around. You're basically Batman. Batman beats up Gotham City residents.
Hey, let's not do that. Come on.
He
He-
does.
That's what
he-
Batman is.
Yeah,
No, he be
yeah,
donating. Batman be donating. He be giving people
yeah,
jobs.
but at night
He be
he's
giving
his,
people
his
jobs.
thing going on. Keep them
He
the
gave
skies
people
going.
jobs. Hey,
Yeah,
and
but-
some of those people choose to work for the Joker. So I don't know how Batman is supposed to handle
Batman
that.
could be if Batman's ears were to the ground, he'd be giving those type of guys jobs. He'd be
He
creating
did.
jobs. But
He
no, they
did.
gotta go work for the Joker because they broke. They on child support. They gotta support their kids.
Some of those people
And now
ain't,
they get
ain't
beat
yeah, some
up.
of those people ain't just broke. You played Arkham City. Some of them people are like, I work for Joker because
man.
Joker is dope.
In this page, we got T'Challa doing his detective work, which is amazing.
I love this. I
No,
love
this
this.
is cool. I like this.
He has a very philosophical quote about the dagger. He says, the Alongas are taking full advantage of this moment, I see. Baba Nkisu was a thorn in my side and a dagger in the heart of the city. But when you remove the dagger with haste, blood flows freely.
Yeah.
How
was
philosophical was that? Is some good
That
ass.
was beautiful.
It's
That's
very
poetry.
great writing. Very
Yeah.
great
No,
writing.
she
You
has
can
a
visualize.
great handle. She has a great handle on the voice of T'Challa because I mean, even I would say even Coates, we're getting consistency. Like Voldemort doesn't exist; he's non-canonized.
Yo, we gotta stop bringing him up every time. Like we do it too much.
Okay. Anyway, I'm saying that I don't reference his run ever. I don't think about it. So I'm saying when we get from Coates to Ewing,
Yeah.
there is a uniformity, and even if we go all the way back to Priest, even though like there's different flavors, there's a big uniformity. Like Ewing does have a nice handle on T'Challa's voice as a character in this.
Dr.
comic.
Ewing definitely is a fan. She definitely reads and definitely understands where it's come from.
After the big funeral, after the big detective work.
I love this panel. I love this.
What do you like about this panel here?
Because it was just two people talking normally, and he was expressing the way he felt about what he don't know about these people, and it was an excellent conversation because he said, well, do you even know who you are? And I thought that was perfect. I thought that was excellent writing for Dr. Eve Ewing in this. I love this.
T'Challa was like, you're a philosopher just like your dad. I just don't like the down in the dumps mopey
Yeah.
T'Challa. Because as
That's
me,
it.
Buckmaster Cool have been saying consistently, it's just the particular time for these stories and these themes that gets us a little bit wary. However, he doesn't stay there for too long. He will recover and be back on his after this pep talk, he's all of a sudden being told, this is what you got to do, live with the people, go visit. And we see him
love
in the
this.
canyon, BT forever, which is such a Wakandan thing to say, obviously.
Bitty forever.
You know what I mean? And they're screaming out, hearing the echo there. So is this the scene where they mentioned music?
Yeah. It's
Yes.
gonna come up next. It's coming up next. Oh well, there it is right there. Wednesday Kwaito nights at TJ's Tavern. Tavern also is a very South African thing. It's just a place where you can just go get alcohol and just like drink there. It's not like a bar where you sit down and you place an order and all of that stuff. Like it's a very I guess what a ghetto. It's a very hood type thing in South Africa. So
we call that a hole in the wall joint if you just want to go drink it.
That's Southside Chicago. That's
down.
exactly what we got.
A hole in the wall joint.
Yeah. So yeah, like that. It was interesting that you used Tavern. It seems like she's like pulling from a lot of sources, which is cool because I mean that's kind of what Wakanda was like built for, more or less. So,
but let me ask you guys: wouldn't it be more impactful for us to see the human side of T'Challa, just him just being superhuman? I could get over everything, nothing bothers me. Wouldn't that be more bothersome as a story point telling if you're getting if you're reintroducing this character? You know what I mean? Then just have him just go on his, what they do, like almost like what they do with Superman. You know what I mean? Superman sometimes has to have those moral conflicts because technically Superman could destroy everything in this. I mean, he's so OP, it's ridiculous. So you need those human moments. And I think, for me, this is a perfect time to have a human moment with T'Challa. What do you guys think?
I get what you're saying, Dre, but I'm saying I think we've seen it before. Like,
But what if you're a new reader? if say for instance you just came off of Lord Voldemort's run and you're like, well, I kind of like that, you know, because I'm new to Black Panther. I watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and they came up with this new Black Panther book. Let me read this, and then you're reading now all the humanistic things that this character is going through. Wouldn't that connect with you more than just him just whooping ass and taking names?
I can see what you're saying, but for me, like I guess maybe just because I'm still a comic book fan, but the whole thing is like, if people don't read past this and they think that this is all that T'Challa is, that's a very problematic perception to me, because I'm just like, then you guys just think he's this dude who's unsure of himself and has to always go seek counsel, when T'Challa's never been a character who seeks counsel like that. Anytime he looks for counsel, you know things are bad. Like the last time we saw him get counsel was for the incursions and when the planets were colliding and everything. And then we get to Secret Wars. T'Challa has a plan. T'Challa is like talking to Reed. T'Challa is getting Reed in there to go usurp Doom and all of that stuff. So like the thing is that it becomes a thing where the perception of T'Challa right now is so fragile. It's so fragile, where people are just like, yo, T'Challa, like, for example, I made a tweet the other day where I was like, remember when T'Challa wore Bucky without the suit? And then somebody was just like, why did you need to bring up the suit? Because I was like, y'all think T'Challa is just a dude in a suit at this point. There's people who literally said this on Twitter, that T'Challa is just a dude in a suit, that Shuri makes all the tech, etc., etc.
Exactly, but they dumb him down. They don't let you know that he is probably the eighth most smartest person to ever be in any Marvel comic.
I think he's 4. I think he's number 4. I don't think he's number 8. I really think.
I mean, him and Reed is on.
And it's another nerd moment where we're now talking about, you know what,
who's smartest.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying.
I mean, it speaks to the character
I get
of
what you're
T'Challa,
saying,
right?
right? I get what you're saying.
That's character. I feel like the problem is you don't get who he's supposed to really be, and how he is the smartest person in the room. He's the most moral person in the room. He's the most, the best detective in the room. He's all these things. He's not just the Black Panther. He's not just the king, but he's the best of all of these attributes. And too many times I feel like making him too, I don't want to say humanistic, but just too regular of a guy. And he's not a regular guy. He is the best of all these things, and you don't get to see that sometimes. I feel like we haven't seen it a lot at all, really.
I mean, besides Man Without Fear, and the reason why I'm comparing him to Batman, because it's almost like the Batman. I can't think of the name of the cartoon or whatever, the movie, Master of the Phantasm. When you just get the small, but when you get these small intricate parts where Batman is not, it can't be Batman all the time, and he's breaking down and he's having these emotional problems, and he's seeking counsel from Alfred, and that's what I think. For me to be
time
able to
and place, right?
Well, yeah, and I get that, and I think right here, you're getting that time and place because we haven't really seen it. He's kind of been isolated to himself, and that's why you're getting this moment right now. I'm like, dude, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? And basically going back to what his mom said in the movie, show him who you are.
Just a boy, not fit to lead.
Show him who you are.
So now I'm getting I'm getting with the people. I'm going out and I'm kicking it. I'm dancing like my man on Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's getting his groove on. You know what I'm saying?
T'Chaka's pillar.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's kicking it. Now he's starting to, now I can be able to relax, chill out. Now I could be able to move through the city. And you see how quick he got right back on beat after this. That's why I like this. The lead up was great. He got the pep talk. He was like, okay, you know what? You're right. But while I'm at it, I'm going to still be having my ear to the ground. While I'm kicking it, I'm moving over here. Oh, Jovi. Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing. And now I can be able to sneak my way in. It's perfect. Perfect storytelling to me.
Listen, even though T'Challa is the man, right? Every once in a while, you need that check and balance. Somebody got to tell you about yourself when you don't see what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So even with Superman always has his dad always telling him, hey, son, come back to Kansas, know your roots, blah, blah, blah. But he's over here hanging out with the Justice League, doing all this extra stuff. Every once in a while, they have to ground him in order for him to understand where he's coming from and how he needs to operate going forward. So I think this is what's happening right now with Shangamaya's son. He's like, yo, like, did you walk around the people? I know you know what to do when it comes to detective work and solving problems and stuff like that, but you forgot this one moment where you were supposed to be like the people you're supposed to be protecting.
There was a great usage of panels, works like the verticality, I should say. You see up there, Ize, aka T'Challa with the little fake legs, is doing what we saw him doing the page prior. He was walking and checking out the city, and in here we're also pushing story plot like with some text. They're discussing Aliinya, Aliinya.
Aliinya. Aliinya.
I know it doesn't. I know that's not the right way to say it.
Double I. Aliinya.
Aliinya. No, because like a lot of African languages are very phonetic. They don't do the whole swallowing words things. Usually, how you see it is how you say it. So
these dudes they're chit chatting about Aliinya, the same dude he kicked earlier in the comic book. And what's happening, as we mentioned, I think we mentioned earlier in this review, that Aliinya is like, no, we're under new management. Everybody who used to work for my dad can't trust anymore. That's how coups happen, which is like kind of true.
Smart.
Very smart.
And so she's preventing. So that's like undertone. I don't think they ever say that, but that's an undertone that I seem to notice. And I just like the way that the page was cut out. And here he is just taking a little seat now, and he's still listening to them talk. She will be the death of us, indeed. And you have lost, Josie, my friend. Never did like this game. What's going on here is that T'Challa's listening in and going, okay, they know me already as in the family as that caterer, which I love that callback to something that happened like 3 comics ago. That was relevant because that's a shoe-in now to become the henchman of Aliinya. That's how you say her name.
Also, what I like is that they're referencing T'Challa's actual powers. They're actually referencing T'Challa's powers throughout that panel, because if you see, he's quite a distance away, but he can still hear what these people are saying.
Hear it. Yep.
It's still saying he's the Black Panther with those sensors, which is really cool. It's a nice way to show T'Challa's powers without being obvious about it.
And he's also 8'4", so I mean,
Jonathan Kent is dead. DGD. What? DED?
What did Jonathan Kent do? Dead. What did Jonathan Kent do? I thought people liked him. I mean, I'm indifferent because I'm not a fan of Superman anyway. Yeah. So
I just learned Smallville, Kansas is not a real place.
Wait, it's not. Talking about the dad or the son?
You just found out?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I think he's talking about the son, Jonathan Kent.
In the next comic. In the next
comic books. I'm sorry.
No, say it.
No, I'm saying they have 15 storylines going at the same time. They have 15 different comic books. If you go to a comic book store, you see 15 Supermans, 15 Batmans. You only got one storyline for Black Panther. That's always my biggest thing. So,
well, the sales don't warrant it. If the Black Panther comic was doing Superman numbers, you would get like 5 every month. But
yeah,
true.
At least there's Ultimate Black Panther. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait. I mean, that suit is still over designed for me, in my personal opinion, but I still can't wait for that.
We got this page next at the bar. I'm usually here on Wednesdays for Kwaito nights. And of course, Buckmeister Cool is going to tell us what that is.
It's like from the 90s. Basically, it's South Africa's version of like hip hop. The way hip hop started in America is kind of like how Kwaito started over here. It's a bunch of poor kids in the neighborhood making music and, politicking and apartheid and all of that stuff. So that's what Kwaito is in a nutshell, basically.
This is where T'Challa's listening in on the people he beat up, and he gets, he gets his job.
Yeah. I like that scene. I think, again, I hope nobody misunderstands what I'm saying. It's just that T'Challa's in a sensitive time. That's why I'm sensitive as a T'Challa fan. But if I look at this objectively, it's been a solid run. I see why people say it's boring because they want something big to happen because that's in relation to what came before. But as a story from point A to point B, things are connecting and making sense.
No, because it's world building. It's more world building. It's trying to get you an idea of how big this country is and that all these different parts have issues there too. And Black Panther hasn't touched them. And now that he's able to kind of go around. He's able to see all the other issues that he hasn't really, been privy to. So I understand it, but just give me something more. That's all.
See, I'm a Deadpool fan. And so when I read Deadpool comics, you'll have, one series of comics where shit's just happening. You're like, what? Where did this come from? You are like, what are you doing? But then you will have a run where Daniel Way was really good with this, where you have a one where it kind of like you're pulling back all the silliness and goofiness and just having Way just kind of be himself for a moment and talk about some of the struggles that he had. But then you get back to wacky, but you have those moments. So and that's why I like this run, because you're having moments of vulnerability. And sometimes you kind of need that to be able to completely connect with a character. The reason why I like the Joker is because I'm reading the Three Jokers, and there's a portion of the Three Jokers where you're just having this connection with all three of them. You're like, damn, well, I can understand why this guy is this. Why, what's this, the crown prince of crime is like this, and then this one is like this, and this other one is like this. So that's why I said you kind of need those moments. For me as a reader, I don't want to just see spectacle. I gotta have something to latch on to where I'm gonna get bored, after a while.
Yeah, but I'm saying, let's say the next run, we need T'Challa arm-barring Mephisto, arm-barring Silver Surfer, just arm bars everywhere. The next run.
Arm bar.
I'm with that. Try to do that when they brought in Deathlock.
Yeah.
They kind of try to do that when they had Deathlock be like his controlled, got kind of taken over. So
yeah,
I guess
Deathlock to me doesn't feel like he could take T'Challa. So.
What was that?
I'm saying Deathlock didn't feel like he could kind of take T'Challa, though, in my opinion. So I was just like, all right, but I'm just saying, I need, but I'm saying I need those. I need my Silver Surfer arm bars. I need my jumping on the Silver Surfer board again. You know what I'm saying? I need my one punching Mephisto. Like I want that panel so badly in a live action movie, just for T'Challa to just straight clock Mephisto in the face. $1 billion easy right there. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Dre. I think the other thing though is that T'Challa doesn't have the amount of medium that Batman and them have. So when we start getting moments of vulnerability, it starts getting misinterpreted, which is something that we've been dealing with as the recast T'Challa crew for a long time. But yeah, again, I still think it's solid storytelling. Like I think, Dr. Ewing is doing a thing.
Because if someone's telling me that it's boring, and then I open up a page like this, and it's so wordy, also that you can just explain that she selected him, I'm gonna agree that there's a lot quicker ways to get to, hey T'Challa, you be my driver, because that's essentially what happens. Now in this driving scene, she says something in the middle panel. My sister-in-law knows powerful people in Parliament. When I have sufficient evidence, I plan to turn over the Black Panther so he can suffer like the criminal he is. You see, what she still believes is that T'Challa, or the Black Panther, they never say the word T'Challa, which I got no problem with. If he's in suit, you call him the Black Panther. I don't think there's anything fishy there. Her sister, her family member, her little contact inside the government makes me look at the Prime Minister for Olashade.
Telling you.
I hope.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers because she has to be a super villain. She has to be.
Like
just
I
add
said,
her to the Rogues Gallery one time.
Now, look at it like this. You start off with T'Challa. Again, he's trying to say, well, at that one panel where he said, if you take the dagger and you pull the knife, but you have more flow. Now we're starting to get the flow. If you notice what she's doing, she had him go through all this conversation with himself so he can make sure that he settles himself down. That's all he's doing. He could do it himself, but hearing someone else be like, yo, settle yourself down, get to yourself, then everything could flow. Now we're starting to get to it. Now you could be able to say, oh, well, Nkisu, they might be in it with the Parliament. Oh, Parliament people, huh? It ain't funkadelic either. Oh, that your people there. Oh, I got it. Okay. Yeah, I drive you around, Miss Days. It's no problem. Where you want to go? Let's go to the Parliament. Let's talk to these people. It's all of this great stuff that I like. It's set. I'm telling you, this is going to be great. Y'all need to just calm it down. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm getting excited.
That's it. Give me 3 more issues and you can do it, but you have to start getting there though, because you can't not get
Dre
there.
Mack said the red capes are coming. The red capes are coming.
The red capes are coming. I'm telling you, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited because I like good storytelling. And again, good storytelling, long burn means more issues, means more T'Challa. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but wait, she's on issue 8 now. Do you think she goes past 15?
No.
She's going past 15. She's
You
going.
think so?
She's going past 15.
I'm hoping she goes past 15 because the last thing I want is a rushed ending. That's the
Unless
last thing I
Ultimate
want. If
T'Challa blows
sounds
everything
like
out the
people
water.
Ooh, yeah, that's if Ultimate T'Challa starts selling hard, they're gonna people at the top are gonna be like, yo, we need something to pick up this book, so you need to start adding randoms. I hope she doesn't capitulate to that because I feel like you got to maintain your integrity as a storyteller for the story that you're telling, even though I know you're telling it for an audience. But like, it would be worse.
Related. I don't know the connection you guys are making right now. If Ultimate T'Challa does whatever it does, that's separate from this comic book run. Once it starts becoming low enough sales where it doesn't warrant spending the money on the creatives, then it's going to get canceled. Now, I was monitoring these, and I still do, on the Comic Book Revolution. Sales dipped. I noticed Christopher Allen left. I noticed Jesus Aburtov left. However, sales increased again. So I guess that was just the comic book retailers predicting a drop, and they were wrong to predict it. The comic book readership has increased to where it's going to be a sustained run. Will it reach 15? Yeah. I can see it reaching 15.
I think it stops at 15, 16.
I see it passing 15.
I think it's past it.
I sure hope so.
No, but what I was saying, Chill, is that
with our ears on the ground, we hear positivity coming out of this. People are talking about what Kaiser Slevin just mentioned about Deathlock. About it feels like there's this a rewarding kind of, hey, Cameo, you remember Nightshade? Hey, Cameo, you guys remember and then towards the ending of this comic we'll also see some more.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Doesn't it feel like it's the black book to get?
It is. No, honestly, I go to a lot of comic book stores, and this is almost always, including the variants, are always sold out. It's all people are ordering and coming on Wednesday. If you don't get it on Wednesday, it's not going to be there. So I mean,
which is a no. Hold on, that's not positive. That's not positive. That means that your comic shop is ordering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. I was about to say they don't have excess amount of issues.
Y'all just took the wind right out of my sails.
They're being very conservative with their pre-orders, which is important for us to show up and always get these comic books, so that they could be a comic book left after Wednesday. Like, that's not a good success story. Now, if the comic book sells out by the next Wednesday, like a week later, every comic shop owner is going to be happy about that. But if you're done after the first Wednesday, they're going to say, damn, we just didn't order enough, or we didn't order accurately.
See, I go early on Wednesday. I see how much they put out. They put out basically the same as they're putting out for, Carnage. So it's not like a huge thing. They're not ordering a whole lot of stuff, and you don't get all the variants because if you look at someone, there's lots of variant cover issues, but you don't get all those things. And I do worry about this run. That's why I don't know if it's going. You guys are positive it's going past 15. Maybe. I hope so. I really do.
I think it can. I think she can get to 20. I think she can get to 20. I think so.
What do you guys see happening at 20? People drop off? Like, what is?
No, I mean, I don't know if that's like the
line.
conclusion. Like, because is she writing for I don't know, what was it called? Writing for the trade or whatever, where it was like they write to get a collection, and then after that collection is done, then they jump to another writer. That's like a very popular practice at Marvel. So I don't know I don't know if that's what they're gonna do.
They do write for the trade. Every 5 issues is collected in a trade paperback. That happens. I just don't know why you guys think that 20 or 15. Like the trajectory is a positive one, is all I'm trying to say. Eric says that's a lot of dialogue. He's talking about this page here.
Yeah.
And this page is next. Now let's go to the next one. Let me read one more of you guys. Eventually, I need T'Challa and Steve to run them ones. The clock is ticking.
We all need round 2. We all need round 2. Everybody saw that and was like, bro, what?
I could just hear Samuel L. Jackson say it now. TikTok, go on the button.
Oh man, no, we all need round 2. Everybody was just like,
It doesn't make any sense. I'm still mad about that. I don't want to talk about that.
It was a.
we done.
I'm going to talk about it, Brian. I have to say something.
Oh,
Damn it.
Okay, so, really short.
Okay.
If you look at that comic book page out of context, not knowing anything about comic books, you're just a guy on Twitter. You look at that and you go, "This is like bullshit. This is attention grabbing." That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Next page is Ubesa reappearing in the comic after 2 weeks off, stealing the papers. Now that is Nobi, right?
No, that's not the Obi. That's some other guy. I think he was. I guess he's just some random guy who has some files that she needed to get.
Wait, can somebody just clue me up on Besa? Because Besa's looking for somebody, right?
A family
Like
member.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. And that connects to T'Challa's story because the family member disappeared due to the
That's a
Time
side
War or
quest.
whatever, right?
I just
Yeah.
thought it was they happen to cross paths during the same time when she's doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, okay. So they're
I think
basically
they addressed
just
it in issue 3.
intersecting okay, so they're basically like intersecting, but they're on different missions,
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So whoever this guy is, I'm sure this information is going to help T'Challa and her somehow because Dr. Ewing has been like weaving their stories in and out throughout this entire thing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Now on this page, we see in red writing, "Nice pull, good news." It says Curry 11 p.m. T. What does that mean?
I
think
think
that's
that's
the name.
T'Challa.
Oh,
I was
T.
actually trying to read all of that too, and I didn't understand any of that.
She was in
gibberish.
communication with T'Challa, and I think he has visual confirmation about what she's doing, like kind of like how she has a device in her eyes that T'Challa is using to see what she sees.
Very Batmanish.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, T'Challa would do something like that.
The way he
Also,
would.
like
That much-
he has a habit of spying on people that he works with, so he probably wants some way to be watching her all the time, type of thing.
no, I think she communicated him. I mean, she been in contact with him, and they're working together. So he probably
Right.
gave her a device. So when she's ready
yeah,
to
yeah.
have conversations, they fire it up.
No, I like her character. I think she's fun. I think she's a cool addition to the Black Panther mythos. And because like this issue focused a lot on T'Challa, it wasn't like split 50-50 between T'Challa and Besa. I was like, yeah, this is a good like supplementing, aspect to the whole story of T'Challa.
Well, it got the two characters together. There's a mention right here of a Saint Croix. The first name of this.
Boy.
Say it.
Pronounce it. I could pronounce it in my. I didn't know how to pronounce it because my French sucks. Is it Koi or Qua?
I think
Qua.
it's Qua. I think it's
really?
Qua.
I'm
It's
not
Saint
good
Croix.
at French.
I took French
just
in high
know-
school, but I barely passed, so I don't know.
I just think about the island being St. Croix, so that's why I thought.
Oh, okay. I just
That's
know
the
Monet
English-
Fine. That's all I
variant
know.
of How you say it? That's the English variant how you say it, but how you say it in French is Saint Croix.
Okay.
It's Saint Croix. Okay.
Cartier Saint Croix. Have we ever have Monet's dad mentioned?
I mean, haven't been
I don't know anything
mentioned
about
in-
Monet. So.
Yeah, she hasn't been. I think her dad hasn't been mentioned since the old X-Men comics in the 90s. So it's been a while.
So if I'm trying to find out about Monet, I gotta like dig through I don't know how many
Yeah,
comics to get like panel
You got-
here, panel there. Oh, that
Put
kind
pieces
of. I
yourself.
hate it when they do that. I hate it when they, especially with black characters. I'm like, I want to learn about this black character now. I gotta hunt you down like it's Where's Waldo. Oh, come on.
Because I had
What
to.
is
I
Waldo?
had to do I had to do some research just to get her origin because I didn't know what comic she showed up in, and it was Uncanny X-Men number 316 back in '94.
Oh, I
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you had to go all the way back to '94 to get. But she's the beginning of the panel. But they were getting ready for that Generation X storyline and all of that.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's where she was part of a younger teenage, mutant team, but. She's super damn dope though, and I want her on the big screen. I want Fine Sister to play her on the big screen so I can be excited. I can be happy.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Excited.
Very excited. That's
Good
what I
word.
came to the movies for.
Yeah, they can't call Dre Mack a misogynist. No.
Nope. Gotta have Monet on there. Come on now. Come on, let's get it. Bring it to the big screen.
I think it's a good thing that they have these little gem of characters, especially black characters, put in there.
Exactly.
And maybe it's tedious to some people to go do the research, but it'll get people interested in who these characters are, and they'll go read other runs. It'll be interested in reading more comics. So it's kind of like what's it called, breadcrumbs for people who are interested. That's how.
Just don't have her beat up T'Challa, please. Don't have her. Just please.
I mean, it kind of look like they're gonna have an altercation in the next run. So
yeah, I'm saying like the altercation is fine, but I don't need like T'Challa,
losing again for no
reason.
He's
not gonna get his ass handed by her. But she is a badass, though. Let's not get it twisted. She's a telepath. She got telekinesis. Healing factor. Everything else. She's a badass. She's just
if they got to Batman it up, I'm saying if they got to Batman it up where T'Challa gets away via some plot convenience, like when Batman's fighting Superman, let's do that.
But I think he's going to be good enough that he's fighting her, and he's doing it in a way that I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm just trying to let you know I respect you. We on the same side. We could do this, but I'm not going to kick your ass. But you better stop.
When it comes to these,
better if he nullifies her weapons, whatever
which he can do because he's done it in Man. He did it in the Most Dangerous Man. Was it Most Dangerous? Yeah, I think it was the Most Dangerous Man Alive. I think. Yeah, he did that with what's her face? Typhoid Mary. There we go. I don't know why I was blanking, but yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, you're a fake nerd, Brian. Good job.
I'm sitting here thinking like I cannot figure this out. Look, I know a lot of stuff.
I see the Wolverine on the right. Where is the Typhoid Mary? Come on, step it up.
Yeah.
Can I say though, like this with the cameos of all these characters, of all these, I guess, unsuccessful or lesser successful
black characters.
I think they're
what is the point of representation? Is it to have 100 black characters in Marvel? Is the more the better, or is it more important for one of them, i.e., the top guy, Black Panther, to be on the level of Reed Richards, Daredevil, Doctor Strange? Wouldn't it be more important for one character to be more impactful than it is to in the Black Panther comic we're doing the cameo fest, where you got to learn about comic book characters and you got to really search. You got to search the same way he's searching through all these files to find out about character X and character Y. Because if we're 7 issues deep and it feels like that is the theme of it. This is the celebrate. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, it's for me, it's 50-50 because on one hand, yes, I do agree that this should focus primarily on T'Challa because it's his run, it's his issue. Because a lot of people are misinformed about who the character is nowadays. So you want to be all in on him. So you know that this dude is who you should be reading about. On the same breath, I do like some cameos every now and then, but not too much, like you said. I was very happy to see Deathlock because I think a lot of people don't know who he is. And he's a badass character. But then now we're also getting Monet. So it's like, how many more of these are we going to have? Are we going to do a whole Black Panther and the crew again?
Well, I see it both ways because I see that if T'Challa's elevated in this comic, right? And for having, because something that we don't talk about a lot is who are the black characters that's in Marvel, and so if Monet shows up in Black Panther, then say for instance she comes to I think she's been in live action before, but I think that show sucked so bad nobody remembers it. But it was like in the 90s. It was like try to be an X-Men type show in like the 90s, and they did a pilot episode and it was so horrible that they didn't go along with the rest of the show. They just did a pilot episode. But when you show these other black characters, number one, you show that you don't have to blackwash another character. There's other black characters here. she's being elevated because now she's in the Black Panther comic. So if we continue to buy more Black Panther comics, we keep elevating this character. Well, those characters are getting shoved into this comic. They're like, hey, remember in Black Panther number so-and-so, that character was there.
I don't think that's the role of the Black Panther comic.
Well, I'm not saying it is, but
if you're going to have a Black Panther, can't we not have connective tissue between bigger Black characters and bigger franchises? I feel like that's what I'm looking more for. Having a connective tissue,
like a Luke Cage, or
give me Storm, give me Luke Cage, give me these bigger Black characters instead of giving me always give me small piecemealing me. So give me the bigger stuff and bigger world. We're important in all of the connective tissue.
There are New York-based characters, Luke Cage being one of them. There are X-Men related characters, Storm, Gentle being others. This time being wasted on or being given to Monet can be seen as a waste. I got to see what happens with it, right? I can't just shoot it down.
Yeah.
But I just don't see future writers going, we got to build on this Monet stuff. So therefore, I always wonder, like, so the cameos are one thing and all the screen time, page time going to the cameo characters. And then there's also, we got introduced to Babu Nkisu. But don't worry, his daughter, Aliinya, that woman with the two eyes, that woman also gets screen time. And we got some from Mama Ilanga. We got some screen time going to Kivu Ma, a whole comic book talking about King Matili, just so that we can get the Kivu Ma backstory. But I feel like too many pages were there. The little that T'Challa is getting is a problem to me. And cameos necessarily are not the problem. It could be a fun thing because, there's only 2 pages that we got to see Monet. Deathlock was in a few pages. Everyone... Nightshade served her purpose. Who else am I thinking? There was another cameo. I just can't remember. But the cameo.
I think it was a cameo in Name, Queen Divine Justice. I think it was
little name. You know what I mean? Yeah. These are fine, and I'm sure there will be more. I mean, that's the pattern that we're seeing. It's not a problem to be a cameo. It's actually rewarding to be a cameo and fun, and it's worth celebrating to know that all that lore and all that time we spent reading these old comic books, they matter today. That's fine. That's okay. That's all I'm saying. It's okay.
Yeah. No, and
I mean, Hudlin did this.
Like, Hudlin did this as well. Instead of having Black Panther be the top of what a Black character get. I'm in the Black Panther comic. How about he's in every other comic book too, in all the biggest runs they have. How about make it a bigger world? Make him bigger than what this is the top you get. This is as far as you go. It's give me that ceiling.
And this creative team is not in charge of that. Maybe Christopher Allin might include him in the next big project he has. If he ever does one of those big crossovers or the Avengers comic book, he'll draw T'Challa a little bit of head of where Captain America would be standing, just because he would do something like that. That's about as much as Ewing's not going to be writing the Avengers.
Yeah, Kelly, but if you could have one of them jump in, like something like that, a connective tissue with Black Panther that starts something that you can carry on in a bigger series that actually tries to elevate this character.
Yeah, that's a complaint that I
mean, I see what you're saying, Brian. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chillmonger. You were
it's
saying?
Like a little lag because you're far away, so like that happens. Go ahead.
Anyway, I was saying that Hudlin did this pretty well when he did the Volume 4 run, because he had a bunch of cameos, but like they revolved around T'Challa. Like even when Shang-Chi showed up, he was basically showing up to talk to T'Challa. And when we got the Hurricane Katrina thing with with Brother Voodoo and all of that stuff, as much as those guys got panel time and everything, it still kind of went back to T'Challa. And also, it wasn't like a lot of issues where we're focusing on Blade and Luke Cage and all of that stuff. It was a couple of issues, and then we'll boom back to the T'Challa story.
Well, so if it's canceled at issue 15, if this gets canceled at issue 20, as you were projecting, then we're gonna say, damn, we really spent a lot of time on not T'Challa, didn't we?
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna spend a lot of time just with Monet either. I think she's here to serve the purpose of what she serves, what she's serving. I think that's where we're at right now. She's going to be an integral part of getting to the parliament. I think that's what it is. Finding out who Nkisu knows in the parliament, getting that information so we can go towards the parliament. And Monet it's a pit stop. And it's again reintroducing the character that is dormant at X-Men, because nobody's paying attention. Ain't nobody reading the X-Men coming like, man, I wish when's Monet coming up? You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's what it is.
Did you see the cover for the next issue? Because
I seen the cover. I didn't. But they do this. Come on now.
No, my complaint isn't what's happening about him getting punched. She's gonna stick around.
Okay. Again, the cover, I was like, maybe if I was drawing it, I would be like, maybe I'd have T'Challa like ducking her or something like that. I wouldn't have him like get pressed against the wall, all the concrete's flying out, and she looks like she's about to clock dude in the shield. And also, I don't like the shield design element a lot because I feel like he's already got vibranium. Why would he need a shield or whatever? But anyway, that's just me.
What do you think about this cover?
That cover's better. I like this cover better because it looks like they're on equal footing. If you get what I'm saying,
I don't want to be
T'Challa getting pushed into the wall or whatever.
Brian,
I think both covers are not bad. I just it's that T'Challa thing, man, where it's like T'Challa's in a sensitive space. We don't need him getting beat up.
Why
now.
should they be on equal footing with the best black character that ever lived? I just don't. I don't like that.
Okay, well maybe the third comic book cover will be better. It's okay. This is just like a variant for Wolverine. They do.
Where is T'Challa?
Well, that's a variant. 50 Years of X-Men comic.
Okay.
Oh, but it has Black Panther on the. That's just weird to me.
Yeah. Trust me, I have comics that
that's worse than the first two covers. It has nothing to do with T'Challa.
Right.
The next cover is gonna be just her.
You'll see a small T'Challa way in the background, like, hey, you see him running?
No,
he's there running.
We'll hear her. We'll hear her say the powers of the Black Panther have been stripped away, and she'll be wearing a Black Panther suit.
Stripped away.
I knew I had that clip.
Forrest Whitaker found his own accent. Like all Africans were like, where is he coming from? I have no idea.
Yeah, he fought the back of his neck.
Yeah, like for 2 weeks, everybody was walking around like stripped away.
Nobody talks like that.
Hey, that brings this comic book T'Challa time to an end. A lot of fun. I'm chill. Subscribe to me. We do this on a monthly basis. We got the Dre Mack Show. Link is in the description.
Subscribe to me before I'm stripped today.
Oh, when did we start?
I'm sure you did your best.
Yeah, I did.
We got Buckmeister Cool, who tweets about recasting T'Challa a lot, but he got quote tweeted a couple times a couple days ago. When was it? A week ago now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had
People are beefing with me. People are beefing with me into the new year.
And you know what you got to tell these people in the new year?
You are wrong. All of you are wrong.
That's right. Kaizuku Slevin, YouTuber extraordinaire.
Yes,
plug yourself, and then I'll find a clip that it coincides with what you say.
Plug myself. Video essayist. I talk about fantasy stuff. Recast T'Challa, even though I know the MCU is going down and shit. So
Am I right?
Well, yeah, subscribe if you want to, if you like long form stuff. You already know what it is.
We have Brian, who is of Spoiler Kings. There's 3 of them.
They're ugly bastards, aren't they?
Damn. Damn.
My mama said I was cute. That's all I needed.
All right.
My mama.
My mama said.
It's all right.
Could love.
It's
you
all
got
right.
a great thing going on, Brian. Don't listen to him.
Hey man, I'm a super nerd, but as chill, I can't go a whole episode not saying, hey, I am 6'5", 270 pounds. I'm a big dude. Because I always say everything.
So you're really the model of easy.
Exactly. I'm really him.
Y'all my size. Then when I morph into you. I'm cool with that.
You're just missing the whole cyberpunk aspect.
Hey, I was gonna put my hair up. I'm gonna be Bishop next time. Man.
Hey, yo,
have the M on my eye and everything. We go.
Yo, we didn't mention how cyberpunkish a lot of the Wakanda in Burn It to Chocolate really is. With the face and all. That was actually super dope, and we totally missed that part. We gotta do it next time on the next burning episode of T'Challa Time.
Dun dun. Peace.